felt someone catch up to me, and then my roommate's hefty arm circled my shoulder. You're warm," he said, which was all sorts of odd. I kept walking without throwing his arm off, though I wanted to. Wouldn't want anyone to think we were this close. "That's the alcohol. It can make you feel overheated." "No, it's you," he slurred. "I've always wondered if you were warm." I stiffened. Was he serious? He'd sat next to me plenty of times, but then I suppose we'd never hugged like this. In fact, his arm was starting to suffocate me. "Okay, drunky drunk, let's get you to our room." He held on, and at one point I could have sworn he sniffed my hair. I considered pushing him off, but I knew he was tipsy. Plus, I sort of enjoyed it, if I shut my eyes and pretended he was someone else. What could I say? I'd always liked big, husky guys, and his biceps were made of pure muscle from training. Though I'd never thought of Bones in that way, because gross, straight, messy roommate alert, even if he had grown on me. As we got to the door, he said, "You know that note you left me?" Before summer break? I'd left it because he wasn't around and my parents were waiting outside. He'd mentioned us rooming again, but we hadn't discussed it in greater detail before the year came to a close. "Yeah, you said until we meet again." I pushed open the door and helped him to his side of the room. "Okay, so—" "My brother left me a note before the army shipped him off." He face-planted on his bed. He never talked to me about his brother, though I'd heard he'd also attended Roosevelt. "His final words were, 'Until we meet again.'" I stared at him, wondering where he was going with this. "It's a popular saying." He rolled to his back and threw an arm over his eyes. "She never came home." Did he mean? I'm so sorry. Maybe that was why he'd never mentioned him. Too painful. And now the rumors made sense. I'd once overheard a conversation between his football buddies that Bones could never live up to his brother's pristine reputation. But I hadn't given it much thought because Bones never seemed bothered by anything. I watched as he kicked out of his shoes and slipped under his covers. "I still write him emails, even though they bounce back." "You do? What the hell?" "For one brief moment when I hit send, I pretend he'll respond." He frowned. "But he never does." My hand automatically covered my mouth as I stepped closer to him. I wanted to console him somehow. "Hey, Bones? Bruce." This conversation seemed serious enough to use his real name, though he told me he hated it. When I heard him snoring, I breathed out. Well, damn.